Hi, everyone. It's Lateisha Johnson, your prosperity coach, and welcome to this episode of Ask the Expert. I'm excited, like always, because I get to interview and have masterminds with some of the best in the industry. And I'm so excited to introduce you to this darling. Oh my goodness, she's amazing. She is a mom, she is a wife, she's a mom of two, actually. She is also a life coach, and she's also referred to as the Center Mama Coach. Ooh, that sounds so juicy. Oh my goodness. Welcome, Mary Bourg, all the way from Colorado, right?
Oh, actually, I lived in Colorado for a couple years. I'm in Louisiana.
Oh, you're in Louisiana. How are you today? Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Lateisha. It's a great day. I can't complain. I get to be on the show with you. What could be better?
I know, right? And oh my goodness, I'm so excited that you're on the East Coast right now. I feel closer to you, even though we're so far away. Oh my goodness, but it's been a whirlwind for you. I would love for you to just tell everyone your story about how you got started into business, because you have such a unique example of how you can go from 0 to 100 very quickly,
Mhm.
despite of having a job, having family. Like, tell us your story.
Well, at about 10 years ago, I want to say, that's when I wanted to become an entrepreneur. I was actually in nursing school right out of college. And, I always made good grades. I did what I was supposed to do. And then I started learning about starting my own business and passive income. And actually, one of the first books I read was called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that's when I wanted financial freedom. But I kept going about it in a way that made sense for other people, but not for myself. So that's when I moved to Colorado. I dropped out of nursing school. People thought I was crazy. I got my real estate broker's license. I did that for a while. And then I moved back home, got my life insurance license, and was selling policies for a while. Over the years, I've been involved in about 3 different network marketing companies, and none of it really clicked for me. And it wasn't until this year that I learned about life coaching. So, talking about how to be more successful and how to be happier and more motivated and feeling less guilty and removing limited beliefs. Like, oh my gosh, these are the things I lived for. And then I found out I could make a career out of this. I could actually live my life teaching other people how to dream big and reach those dreams. So, my first client was actually one of my best friends. And this was still before I even knew about life coaching. She simply asked for my help with her resume. And I ended up just taking her completely under my wing for several weeks to boost her confidence and improve her interviewing skills because she didn't really feel confident in that area. And at the end of it all, she was just amazed how she had changed and that she realized now she had so much to offer an employer where before she didn't really believe she was qualified for anything.
Hmm.
And so that was my biggest aha moment. It was like, if I can do this for her, I can do this for other women. And that's when I made the decision.
Wow, that's phenomenal. First of all, I love that you said Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's one of my favorite books, first of all. And I encourage anyone who's watching this broadcast to read it. It's by Robert Kiyosaki. It's great. Oh my goodness, you said so much there. I love the fact that you talked about how you just got started by seeing a need, right? And it started with just one person, and then it developed over time and very quickly. You got started during the pandemic. Tell us, give us some advice or some suggestions for someone right now who's just getting started, or they may have to revamp or shift their business because they're in a pandemic. Can you give us some suggestions on how to do that?
Absolutely. So, my best advice would be that you have to become obsessed with the business that you're wanting to start, especially if you have a job. Like, you're going to be pressed for time and you're going to want to give up so many times. Like, we're not taught how to run a business in school. We're taught how to be good employees, how to listen and follow the rules, how to fit in with the policies and procedures so that we don't get written up or even fired.
Yeah.
But as a business owner, you get to make all your own rules, which is great, but if you don't show up, you have no business.
Right.
So my point is that your passion and purpose has to be so deep that you never look back. Like you never reconsider taking the easy path again, because the easy path is not fulfilling. The easy path is your comfort zone, and we don't grow in our comfort zone. But what's even more important than being obsessed with your business is being obsessed with the results. Where do you want to go from here? Who do you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now? What does that look like? How do you act? How do you speak? What are your thoughts when your business is booming and you are completely fulfilled in what you've created to serve others? Like when that is your focus, it doesn't matter how hard it gets. It doesn't matter how many hours you're putting in a day to get this thing to take off, because the bigger picture is in focus.
That's so good. Oh, so many gems in that. I mean, you talked about comfort zone, and it's so easy to stay within things that make you feel comfortable, that make you feel safe.
Yeah.
Talk about how you have managed to help women get out of their comfort zone, and what are some practices we can start implementing to make sure that we stay productive, we keep jumping, staying outside the box, so that way we can, become our best selves.
Yeah, absolutely. So in my coaching, I use a lot of practical techniques for helping people gain confidence and creating peace and removing limited beliefs that keep people stuck. But I think one of the biggest things, like at the beginning of starting your business, is acknowledging the reality that you're gonna suck. Can I use that word? Because I don't know a better word.
Absolutely, you can use that word because it's true.
Like whenever you're gonna make changes, you're not gonna be good at it at first. Like, and you're gonna be like, oh man, I have this thing. I want to share it with the world. I want to help so many people. I can make so much money. But you're just getting started and you have to suck first. And I
Mm,
think that's the main reason most people give up is they're so excited about what they have to offer. But when they don't have people coming running through the door, their inner critic has a field day and is like,
mhm.
well, you tried. Guess this isn't for you. You're just not cut out for this. And they give up. So, my best advice is to have confidence in the suckiness. Like,
Ooh.
every little bit that you suck is one step closer to not sucking. So, I have an analogy. I saw a TED talk recently where this guy uses the Mario Nintendo game as an analogy. And it's you play Mario, right? And you start the first level and then you die. You fall down the hole. But
Mhm.
what do? You start again,
Yeah.
and this time you're like, okay, there's a hole there. So maybe I need to run faster this time, or maybe I need to jump sooner. And then you keep trying and you make adjustments. And it's so easy to do that for a game because we see ourselves as the objective observer of the game, right? Like we don't often take games really personally. I mean, some people do, but like you're not questioning your existence because the red shell hit you, you
That's
know?
right.
So it's like we have the same opportunity to view our business as a game. Like when you fall down that hole, you
Mm.
start again and you make the adjustments so that you hopefully don't fall again. But you still have to own the fact that you'll probably fall hundreds or maybe thousands of times before you actually like get to level 8 and beat Bowser, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm like snapping my finger over here. I literally took notes. I literally wrote down you have to suck first. I mean, like drop the mic, like you check point, like check marks, exclamation points. You killed it. Like that is so true because, especially as women, we're so critical and we're so hard on ourselves because, we're used to being we're the mom, we're the wife, we're this, we're that, and we're used to just having it all together, so to speak. So the idea of sucking first can almost be like culture shock and it's like taboo, right? So to speak. So let's talk about like let's shift just a little bit and talk about women, right? and just being able to do it all, because you've been able to balance a business, family, a job at one point as well. Let's talk about how to balance, quote unquote, if there's such a thing, how we can do that and still thrive in our business and take care of home.
Absolutely. Well, I honestly, Lateisha, I don't know if balance is the right term for me. I don't know if I have proper balance, because the reality is there's some weeks where work and business, they're just going to take priority. And
Yeah.
there are some times that family is going to take priority. Like, for example, it's the holiday season. We have a lot of plans with family and friends. We have gifts to wrap and buy and events to take the kids to. And so family time is just going to weigh heavier right now. But after the new year, I'm going to be saying no to a lot of family and friend time so I can work more on my business. So I don't know if I would say balance, but hence my title, I like the word centered, because I think when you're a mom, a wife, if you're still employed and you're starting a business, like,
Yeah.
you've got to be centered. You've got to keep that inner peace. And that's the most important thing. Because let me tell you, I stay up late, I get up early, I work my butt off all day long, but I have never felt so at peace with my life because I've made that a top priority. And I believe that's the one thing that matters the most. Like, if you don't feel peace in your heart, then everything else will crumble.
Oh my goodness. I'm like, amen. And oh my goodness, that's so good. That's so good, because you're right. It's going back to what you said about making those adjustments. And you're right. Balance may not be the word, because there's times and places for everything. And I like that, centered. Let's talk about that. The center mama coach. That
Mhm.
there's so much in that. That's like, first of all, that's hot, by the way. Excellent,
Thanks.
excellent way to brand yourself. But let's talk about what that means and some of the products and services you're able to offer to your clients.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as a life coach, I try to help people remove the belief systems that are holding them back. Because a lot of people talk about like wanting to stay positive and think positive, and you can want and need and beg to stay positive all you want. But the reality is that our negative talk brain muscles, I call them muscles, they're really, neurological connections. Those muscles have been working out since we were born, really. So, okay, imagine this. Your right arm, for some reason, is in like a cast for 10 years,
Yeah.
and you've been vigorously working out your left arm the whole time. And now someone tells you, like, okay, take off the cast and go do like a one arm pull up with your right arm. Like, it's just not going to happen. And we have these belief systems that are purely lies, but we've been believing them for so many years. Like, they're embedded so deep within our subconscious that we usually have little awareness of what is actually holding us back. So we can think really positive and do a one arm pull up, or we can take the time to start working out that right arm and get it to the place where it needs to be to do the pull up. So, without going all into my, full on coaching program, here's what I'll say. The best practice is to watch your thoughts. Be the observer of your thoughts. Take that objective view so that you can start to understand how they're working. Like, are they working for you or are they working against you? Because statistics have shown that 80% of people have mostly thoughts that are working against them. So we want to discover what those thoughts are and then change the narrative so that we can pick the thoughts that we actually want and that are serving us.
Yeah.
So I have I've been doing a lot of individual coaching sessions, but I'm really excited to launch my signature program. It's called the Centered Mama: From Stress to Success. And I work with moms who are tired. I mean, isn't that all of us, right? Who are
Yeah.
stressed. Again, that's all of us. And they feel like they have no time for themselves anymore. So I help them to reprogram and rewire those patterns so it becomes easy just to live into their power and go after anything that they want with confidence. And we go back to the basics. Like where it all began was childhood. Most of it began in childhood. And there's a little child inside of us, and she's just waiting to be loved and guided and encouraged. And when we heal that relationship, our life changes. It's truly transformational to watch that healing take place, because that's where I was just a few short months ago. And since I've made the changes, I've noticed such a huge difference in my life, and I get to help other moms do the same. I have so much more love in my marriage and relationships with other family members and friends. I'm able to communicate more effectively so I can speak my truth without triggering the other person's ego. Like I could not do that 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I now actually believe, yeah, right? Like I now believe I'm the only one in charge of my life and no one else can take my power away. And I'm able to pursue my passions, like what I'm meant to do and who I'm meant to be, without the shame of mom guilt, without feeling selfish, and without being afraid, because I experienced all of those things. So that's why I want to help other women come to that place that I've come to.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. Back to basics. Oh, it's so much. I mean, you just dropped like a free coaching session for us right there. I I really, really hope that the ladies viewing this are really paying attention and that they really heard you clearly. Um, ah, I am like just delighted to have you as one of Wealth and Wellness Network's own. You're one of the content contributors. So not only will they be able to hear what it is that you do and get tips and suggestions and recommendations by this actual broadcast, but they'll be able to hear from you in the community as well. How can we find you offline, online, and outside of the community?
Well, all you need to do is go to my website. It's marybourg.com. And that's my last name, Bourg, Bourg. And they can send me a message. My phone number's on there. They can give me a call. They can schedule a free consultation if they want to dig a little bit deeper and see if my program is maybe a good fit for them. And there's a link to my calendar, so they can go right in and schedule themselves. And there's also a link to join my free Facebook group. I called it the Tired Moms Club. And so that's another place that I show up consistently to provide support, connection, and empowerment for other moms.
I love it. Oh my goodness. You are such a delight, Mary. I'm so happy to have you. I'm so excited to work with you as well. And ladies, make sure that you don't just hear what she said, but you apply as well. Thank you so much, Mary, for being on the broadcast today. So appreciate you. So appreciate you. And you help so
Absolutely.
many
I'm so
people.
glad to be here.
Thank you so much.
Good.
Ladies, everyone, I will see you soon on the next episode of Ask Your Expert. I'm Lateisha Johnson, your prosperity coach.